Today we're talking about the best craft beer in the world, but what is it? There's a ton of beers out there, and 99% of those beers on those beer ranking websites, well, I've never heard of them, let alone have access to them. But my favorite and most trustworthy source for beer is my own palate. So today we got to go back to the city that started it all for me. Today we're going to Gold City, not the Gold Coast where all the mates live, and I call it Gold City for two reasons. It's insanely expensive to live here.
Ooh, that's bad.
But there is a million delicious IPAs on every corner.
That's good.
I'm talking about a place called San Diego, California. This place means a lot to me. I got my first blowjob here, right over there on that futon, last week. His name was Gus. And you know you're getting close to San Diego when you see them titties. Not those titties, you dirty devil. These titties. And before we reveal my favorite craft beer of all time, I have a question for you.
Check it out. You like eating pussy?
And what's your favorite beer of all time? Post it in the comment section below. There's no right, there's no wrong answer. Beer is art, and art is subjective. Doesn't matter if it's Blind Pig or Busch Light, put some good beers on my radar. But getting to San Diego from Knoxville is no easy task, Brages. Knoxville is a small town with a small airport. That means it's expensive as hell to fly in and out of. And it's cheaper if I fly out of Nashville, which is 2.5 hours away. So time to drive to Nashville and walk back in shame and snag my camera. Here's my shit box. The paint's falling apart, driver's side won't open, radio hasn't worked in years. I'm on that Bluetooth program. The way I see it, I'm one step away from being the real life cousin Eddie. But underneath the hood is all that matters to me. And how's it running? Purring like a kitten. But fortunately, nice cars only get you laid in 80s movies. We gotta do two things here. We gotta store my truck here, and we gotta celebrate a Barrage's birthday. This is the Barrage cuz from San Diego as well. He moved to Tennessee a couple months before I did. My flight's not for 10 hours, so it's time to check out downtown Nashville for the night. This guy's got it all figured out. A true pillar in the Nashville community. Nashville is a trip. There is no way I'm making this 6 a.m. flight. There's places like Tijuana and Las Vegas had a kid. I think the name of the game is just to get blacked out and start screaming. Nashville is just one of those places where you have no clue how it works. It just does. Seems like every single place had the same stuff going on. Live music, a bar or a distillery, barbecue, and a bachelorette party going on. This would be my nightmare if I was getting ready to have a wedding. And all these places were packed. Great to catch up with Cuz's dad, Mike, too. This is the only second time in my life where I've seen that the dad is younger than the son. The only other time I saw this was Trey and his pops from Don't Be a Menace. We did get an Airbnb in Nashville, but with a 6 a.m. flight, I don't trust myself anymore. Not without Adderall or nose nachos. I know if I even try to rest my eyes for 10 minutes, I'm waking up at noon. You just gotta fight it. Think of all the people I'll be letting down if I miss this flight. Just need to stay up for 6 hours. Marinate in shame and get all the pain out now. Just make it to the flight and just pass out. You gotta keep telling yourself, you've been here before. You've been here before. Make it to San Diego and Pops will pay for everything. Executive courses don't hand out bogeys. You gotta earn them. You've been here before. You've been here before. Got my 5 hours of sleep, which is more than enough to let me recharge. Caught the train down from Los Angeles to Oceanside. You recognize that stadium? And home sweet home. Here's the pad hanging out with Pops.
I love you, Dad.
This is me, pre-puberty vibes when I was going through my welcome back Cotter phase. But before we go barrage hunting, we gotta pay our respects to all the grandpas down there in Point Loma. See, that's how we got here. Both grandpas on both mom's and dad's sides were Navy stationed in San Diego way back in the day. Shout out to their generation for doing all the hard stuff. So my generation can complain about how tough their lives are on Facebook and Reddit, but nobody deserves more respect than this barrage, the second greatest American to ever live. Let's get back to beer. Now, some have said that I'm a professional burnout who's a nightmare with money, and that's totally fair, but with that, I could tell you about some stuff in regards to places, food, and beer. I can give you an education you're not going to learn in a classroom. See, my purpose on earth is to max out all my credit cards and check out cool cities, and I can tell you a thing or two. If you want to drink great beer in the mountains, check out Asheville, North Carolina. If you want to eat mouth-watering barbecue, look no further than Austin, Texas. If you want to know what city has the most love and where people get along the best, Knoxville, Tennessee. And if you want to eat delicious Mexican food and drink beers by the Pacific Ocean all day with the best weather in America, I don't think you can beat San Diego. Now, there's a million delicious IPAs in San Diego, but before I talk about my favorite craft beer of all time, now I want to showcase a couple places in San Diego where I go to drink different styles of beer than just IPAs. Put these on your radar if you ever make it to San Diego. First is Booze Brothers Brewery. This is where I'm going to have my wedding and my funeral in the same day. I think I was born here too. And when I'm here, I drink their watermelon tahini goza. If you like fresh sours made with real fruit, then this is as good as it gets. This is the stuff that killed Elvis. And second is a place called Battle Mage Brewery where I drink their Chocobo Hef. I take a bunch of heat on the stream for not liking Belgians. It's because Belgians taste like I'm drinking bubblegum, but not this Belgian. This Belgian tastes like you're eating a chocolate banana muffin from 7-Eleven after riding your bike home from school in the 90s. Wow. But what's my favorite beer of all time? What beer got me into craft beer? Swami's West Coast IPA from Pizza Port. Beer's so good, you gotta ship it back to yourself. They even got great pizza too. Check out the Brew Show, saving the world one vegan pizza at a time. And I know what you're thinking, best beer in the world. People are like, oh really? Trust me, I'm the same way. People say best comedian, best Mexican food, best comedy, best horror movie, and by default, you cross your arms. But when I got into beer back in the day, it wasn't about sours or even hazies or craft pilsners. It was all about West Coast IPAs, double IPAs, barrel-aged stuff, brown ales. And this beer is the pinnacle of the West Coast IPA. For starters, I like the format. It doesn't cost an arm and a dick. It's not a $25 4-pack. It's 6 16-ounce pints. 16 ounces that will fit in a pint glass, unlike pouring a 12-ounce into a pint glass. But what I like most about this beer is it's not malty at all. If I want a malty beer, I'll drink a Dunkel or a brown ale. It looks just like a Coors Light and it tastes like a delicious West Coast hoppy IPA. There's way too many West Coast IPAs nowadays. Beer's over 7%. That all tastes malty. So again, let me know if you're stuck on a deserted island and you can only have one beer for the rest of your life. Which is it? Or forget that. What's the beer that got you into craft beer or home brewing? I'll see you guys on the channel tonight. Cheers to eating good and cheers to drinking good. Patrick, did you watch any of the vlogs yet?
Not yet.
You're not going to do it.